Hi, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wide world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Hey, this is EAJ Man from Autopsy Live and the Skype Pirates. When I want to make it look like I give a shit about sports, I tune into Sports World Radio with Jeff Escow.
Jeff
Doing my time. Doing my time. Got myself a problem.
from San Diego. It's Sports World Radio. You've never heard a sports show like this. Oh, no, you haven't.
Oh, blow me.
You got it.
Holy fucking shit.
What in the hell is your major malfunction?
Can't believe that goddamn son of a bitch did that fucking crap.
Don't give me any of your shit.
Right?
Yeah, that's right. Those are your hosts, Jeff Escow and Sean Mann. Remember, those who can't play sports, talk about it. These two tell it like it is. Tune into Sports World Radio for the fastest hour of sports of your life. So here they are, the douchebags of sports themselves, Jeff Escow and Sean Mann.
Hey, welcome to Sports World Radio. Glad everybody could be with us today. We got another jam-packed show like we do each and every day here on Sports World Radio. Remember, we do this show 6 o'clock on the East, 3 o'clock on the West, and if you live in the Central...
If you live in the Central, figure it out for yourself, because I'm not going to, and it's not that hard.
It's not that hard. It's pretty easy. Even I can figure it out, and I live in the West for Jiminy Cricket 6. I am your host, Jeff Escow. That is Sean Mann. We're going to get all the particulars out of the way, and then we'll get on with the show, tell you who's coming on today. You can listen to us each and every day on Sports World Radio, Monday through Friday. Like I said, 6 o'clock on the East, 3 o'clock on the West. Now, there's several ways to get in touch with us here on Sports World Radio. Okay? The easiest and best way to do it is head on over to Spreaker.com. Spreaker. That's our chat room. Spreaker.com. If you don't have an account, don't worry. It's free. Sign up. Get yourself a free account. Type in Sports World Radio, and then the show will show up live. Click the live button. The show will show up at the bottom of your screen. Click the bubble, and you'll be in the chat room. You can start chatting away. You don't want to go through all that? Head on over to Facebook.com/Sports World Radio. Facebook.com/Sports World Radio, and like our Facebook page. Pinned to the top of our Facebook page is our petition to get me to have a sports debate with Skip Bayless. That son of a bitch says he'll have a sports debate with anybody. Well, here I am, and there's the petition over at Facebook.com/Sports World Radio. Like our Facebook page, sign our petition, please, to make it happen. Also, follow us on Twitter at Twitter.com/Sports World Radio. That's Twitter.com/Sports World Radio. And don't forget, kids, we're also on iTunes. Okay? Head on over to iTunes and just type in Sports World Radio. Every show we do goes right over to iTunes. So subscribe to our channel over at iTunes. Sports World Radio over there is what? Sports World Radio everywhere. We're everywhere. We can't help it. Every place we're at. You want to get in touch with the show, 619-663-3715 is the number. 619-663-3715. That's right. I got the number back. 619-663-3715 is the number. And then finally, you can email us at swrshow@gmail.com. That's swrshow@gmail.com. Don't forget, we're having two contests. Well, we have one contest going on right now for everybody. We're looking for a new intro for Sports World Radio. 60 seconds long, no curse words. Jeff Escow, Sean Mann must be in there. Send it to introcontest@sportsworldradio.com. That's introcontest@sportsworldradio.com. Send it there. Okay? Also, if you have not signed up for our sports shorts yet, you are missing the boat, kids. You are missing the boat big time. Because you need to sign up for our sports shorts and listen to all the conversations we have during the commercial breaks. Okay? It's fabulous. Sometimes the commercial breaks are better than the show. In fact, how many times do we come back from commercial break laughing our asses off? Well, you guys don't know why we're laughing, but if you head on over to swrsportshorts.com/SWR Shorts, you can find out why we're laughing. That's swrsportshorts.com/SWR Shorts. head on over there and find out why we're laughing during the commercial breaks. With all that being said, what do you say, hey, we bring in that co-host of ours, that rat bastard himself, Sean Man, the update man. What's going on there, you son of a bitch?
I'm doing good, Jeff. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Sports World Radio. It's Tuesday, August 25th, 2015. It's 6:08 p.m. on the East Coast, which makes it 3:08 p.m. on the West. For you people in the Central, yeah, figure it out for yourself. For the people in the Mountain, who really cares? It's about, 85 degrees. It's just like really, really hot, sticky, and very smoky today.
Is it raining over there by you?
No, and we need rain really, really bad. It rained a little bit last night, though.
We got a little bit of rain. In fact,
send it out up here. We need it.
In fact, you want to know something? I usually say it's beautiful, sunny San Diego here, correct?
Right.
Well, it's still beautiful, but it ain't so sunny today.
Oh, boy.
We got gray skies. We had a downpour, I would say, about 7 o'clock this morning. A nice downpour for about 15, 20 minutes. Yeah, really nice downpour. They're calling for rain on and off all day. I'm surprised it's not raining right now. I'm shocked that it's not raining. They said it's going to be raining really hard around 3, 4 o'clock. I was like, great.
That's the last thing Jeff wants to have happen.
Right. So either it's raining really hard right now in downtown San Diego and it's on its way out this way, or they're a bunch of freaking liars. One or the other.
Shout out to our good buddy and good friend, the program director, Josh Lopez. Good to see you there, buddy. He says it's 72 degrees in the Windy City on a gloomy day.
Gloomy day in Chicago. Hey, now listen. What's up, Shaba? How you doing, buddy? We got a good show for you guys today. At the bottom of today's show, bottom of this hour in today's show, John Marks, host of 97.5, the Fanatic Radio, coming in to talk to us about some Philadelphia Eagles football. That's right. I've already contacted Andrew Browning Bastard, and I've also sent out a message to our good friend Double A. Because those are Eagles is their team, and I thought they would like to know ahead of time what we got planned. So John Marks of the Fanatic 97.5 is coming on in, talk to us about the Eagles football team and what's going on out there in Philadelphia with the Philadelphia Eagles at the bottom of this hour. Just a little heads up on what's coming on in for the rest of the week. Tomorrow, Wednesday show, we got Jonathan Machado coming on in, talking Dallas Cowboys football. That should be fun, huh, Sean?
Yeah, it should be interesting to hear what his perspective is about the Dallas Cowboys, and I do believe tomorrow we are expected to have Ron Gallo back to talk about NHL.
Ron Gallo will be back, and we got Jonathan Machado coming in to talk Dallas Cowboys football. On Thursday, we got Jay Morrison coming in and talk Cincinnati Bengals football. And on Friday, we have ex-NFL football player Tommy Harris coming in to talk some football with us as well. So we got a jam-packed show for the rest of the week as well. But John Marks, host of the Fanatic 97.5, coming on in to talk to us about Philadelphia Eagles football at the bottom of this hour. What do you got for me, Sean? What's the first topic of the day?
All right, Jeff, at 3:12 p.m. Pacific, we're going to start off with a big story coming out of Pittsburgh. Free agent quarterback Michael Vick was meeting with the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh on Tuesday. Sources told ESPN.com's Adam Schefter and Josina Anderson.
I saw that.
Wes, wherever you are, I wonder what your thoughts would be about this whole thing, about the possibility of Michael Vick going to the Steel City.
I wish this news popped last week when we had
I know
our Steeler guy on last week, right?
My first impression when this story broke is I was like saying, gosh, darn, we had that Steelers writer on, and if that would have happened, wow.
Yeah, I wish we had Jacob Klinger on now, man, instead of last week.
Maybe eventually if, let's say that Michael Vick agrees to the deal, we could email him back and say,
we're gonna have to
get
him
your
back.
Thoughts about Michael Vick.
Yeah, we're going to have to. We'll make that a short interview. But, yeah, we're going to have to get him back on the show for that, man. That's, wow. What is he going to be, the backup?
I'm sure he would play as backup quarterback and maybe do the Wildcat offense. It's hard to say. He's only 35 years old, so Michael Vick does not have much time left in the NFL. He played last season with the New York Jets. He started in 10 games overall for them. Starting 3, actually. He appeared in 10 games, but he started 3.
I don't know. I don't know if he's worth it, to tell you the truth. I'm kind of in a quandary there. I'm
mostly surprised is what I would say that he would want to consider coming back.
I'm in a quandary. I don't know, to tell you the truth. You know?
Let's see. Ryan's Dick-a-blazing, the next story, 14 minutes after the hour. He said that Jeff Eskow is boring as drywall, has no charisma like Colin Cowherd or Skip Bayless.
Do you really want me to get into that?
And then he said about me, he says, you are a bad co-host, and the fact you root for the Patriots is pretty sad. And then Ryan Dick-a-blazing said that Sports World Radio is a joke of an internet radio show.
Hey, guess what, buddy? I got the mic and you don't.
Why don't you just come on in and call in? Or, you know what? You're chicken. You're
he's afraid
to call in and fess up your beliefs.
He's afraid to. He's afraid to.
So you know what, Ryan Dick-a-blazing? You can email Josh, or you can post on Facebook or Twitter about us all you want and say the negativity, because the more you do that, the more the listeners will come and listen to us and realize you're boring as heck.
Yeah, you know what? He's a tough guy behind the keyboard.
Yeah.
He's a real tough guy behind. Yeah, real tough guy behind the keyboard, ain't you there, Ryan Dick-a-blazing, aren't you? Tough guy behind the keyboard. You're a keyboard tough guy, aren't you?
Yeah, maybe that's the only skill he had because he's all upset because you got him fired from his job.
Yeah, keyboard tough guy. That's what we're going to call you from now on. Keyboard tough guy. That's what you think you are, aren't you?
Keyboard tough guy troll?
Yeah.
That's why you call him a troll.
Keyboard tough guy. You think you're tough, huh? You ain't got the balls. That's the problem with you. You ain't
Such
got the
an
balls.
idiot. I'm so glad I blocked him on Facebook.
See, I don't even see. The problem is, how did he ever become a Facebook friend of yours? Why did you even accept it?
I was never a Facebook friend of his. It was Josh who was friends with him, and then I got into a debate with him about the Cavaliers and got into a clash with him, and I took him on, and I kicked his butt.
Keyboard tough guy over there. That's all he is. He's a man behind the keyboard, tough guy. You're never going to see anybody, so he's really big and tough. I bet you get him in person, and he'll whimper like a little bitch that he is.
He's a little baby.
Yeah, he'll cower like the little bitch that he is. That's all. It's no big deal. He don't do it. He can say whatever the hell he wants. That's his right. That's his prerogative. But he's still a piece of crap.
16 minutes on the after the hour on the 25th of August, 2015. Hello there, Browning Bastard. Good to see you there, buddy. Browning Master. We got a great special guest coming up for you. And Shabba, yeah, I can still remember that too, going back to the Michael Vick story, that he was considered the next best thing. But after the thing with dogfighting got him in trouble, then his career decided to deteriorate.
He's the next best thing since sliced bread. Yeah, okay, whatever.
I can say this. Michael Vick goes back to the Pittsburgh Steelers, ladies and gentlemen. I can tell you that it'll be just like with the Jets. He might play maybe 3 games, 4 games, and that's probably the minimum I'd go with.
Yeah?
Yeah. Think about it. He only played 3 games last year for the New York Jets. And, Josh, I know you weren't very thrilled about this whole thing about Michael Vick even going back to the NFL. The question I'd like to ask is Wes. I should just message him and say, hey, Wes, how would you feel about Michael Vick maybe playing with the Pittsburgh Steelers alongside Ben Roethlisberger? I wonder what his true reaction would be about that. We all know that Wes is not happy that Todd Haley is there running the offense for Pittsburgh.
Who cares what Wes thinks?
Because you're tired of all the stuff he posts on Facebook, Jeff.
Doesn't matter. It's going to be 2 down, 1 to go by the end of this football season anyway.
Good point there, Browning. I say he'll play 2 or 3 less. I don't know. That's if a contract, I know how you are about if, Jeff, since you hate that word, if a contract can be negotiated for like a 1-year deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I really don't. I don't. Just because he had a meeting with him, don't mean it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. I really don't think so.
And I wonder what the cross-state rivals, the Eagles, would think about this. Even though the Eagles are in the NFC and the Steelers are in the AFC, I'm sure Eagle fans would be like, oh, lovely. Now he's on the other side playing in the AFC with the Pittsburgh Steelers in the same state as us.
The only thing is, the only way he's going to get into the game is if Roethlisberger gets hurt, and that's a possibility because Ben can't really move in the pocket, can he?
True, and I know Josh and I have had discussions like we always do when we have our meeting, our prep conference show meeting. He was telling me about how the Steelers really aren't impressive, and I can agree with you, Josh, because the way the Steelers are going to have to be able to win the football maybe could be ground and pound, or if Ben Roethlisberger returns just like he did last year. He had a great season for the Steelers, but it's still going to be debatable if he can be good this year. We'll see what 2015 provides, but of course that's why the Steelers are keeping all options on the table if they want to go out and get Michael Vick to maybe be number 2 or backup.
I don't know why Philadelphia just didn't keep Michael Vick, and you could have had Michael Vick, Tim Tebow, and freaking Mark Sanchez on that team.
Gosh,
that would have been nice.
I know, 4 quarterbacks. Then Chip Kelly's well, who do I put in as a starting quarterback?
Should have got Johnny Manziel and put him on that team, too, and then you can have a really bad freaking quarterback situation going on. That would have been great. Can you imagine Michael Vick, Tim Tebow, and Johnny Manziel all on the same team?
True, and I can tell you, Jeff, when that interview happens at the bottom of the hour, you're going to probably really address this whole issue with quarterbacks with our person we're interviewing.
Yeah, because I want to know about Tim Tebow, I want to know about Mark Sanchez, and I want to know about Sam Bradford. So, yeah.
Josh goes, well, they got 6 quarterbacks already. True.
Well, I just named all 3 of them.
Yep.
Is he really? Come on. Is he really going to carry 3 quarterbacks? No, come on.
Chip Kelly's got a major decision. In my opinion, I would probably go with Sam Bradford. I know he's 18, 25, and 1, but he has more experience. I know Mark Sanchez has been in the NFL since 2009, so he has little, but I'd still go with Bradford over Sanchez. And Tim Tebow has had none experience. He's gotten the Broncos to the playoffs, but he only won 1 playoff game.
I don't know if I can even do that. I mean, Jesus. After all, it is Philadelphia Eagles, right?
True. I just don't know what Chip Kelly will have in store. Be interesting to see what he decides either this week or maybe even the beginning of next week as we get into September, who Chip Kelly would like to have as a starting quarterback. And Shabba goes a collection of running backs for quarterbacks, true.
Yeah, collection of running backs for quarterbacks. That's just freaking awesome.
Another story we get to at 21 minutes after the hour before we get to our interview. The New York Jets ranked 30th in the passer rating and 29th in total quarterback rating over the past 5 seasons, counting the playoffs. And an ugly situation became downright bizarre 2 weeks ago when a teammate slugged projected starter Geno Smith, leaving the third-year pro with a broken jaw, out 6 to 10 weeks. Now, according to reports, this one sports writer, Mike Sedano, who is an NFL insider, believes that the Jets may have a chance this year to compete and actually win because they've got Ryan Fitzpatrick. And, Jeff, you've said all along that Ryan Fitzpatrick might, that's the key word, might be the answer for the Jets.
Ryan Fitzpatrick. Nobody listens to me here. I'm just a dumbass who doesn't know what he's talking about.
Well, maybe this NFL insider probably listened to you on the show. Maybe he's listening and saying, yeah, this guy knows what he's talking about. Ryan Fitzpatrick could lead the Jets to maybe the respectability or on the top of the AFC East.
You hear that, Mr. Dick? I'm just saying. I said that last week when it all happened, but nobody listens to me. Everybody said I'm crazy. Now all of a sudden this reporter's coming out and saying the same thing. Holy freaking Toledo, Batman.
The problem with the Jets, though, too, is that, okay, they got Fitzpatrick. Can he lead this team? Can the Jets be a serious threat this year in the AFC? And just remember, they've got Todd Bowles, and Rex Ryan is not there anymore.
Nope.
The evidence
he's not.
suggests he's a player the Jets could win with as long as their defense returns to the form it showed before the past couple of seasons. And yes, the Jets did make upgrades to their defense. They brought back Darrelle Revis from the New England Patriots. They went out and got Antonio Cromartie. And I think that's the big question, Jeff, that we have to address is what kind of a defense do we expect the Jets to have this year?
I don't.
Because their defense was absolutely miserable the last few years.
That's going to be the key right there. That's going to be the key is what's their defense going to be. You know? That's going to be the key right there.
And like I point out in the chat room, I said this year the Jets are not a playoff team. Maybe they're a few years away. I'm sure, Jeff, if we could get a Jets sports writer, we could understand what positioning the Jets could be in. And I'm sure Josh is trying to get maybe a Jets and a Giants writer, and eventually that'll come up. But, yeah, that defense is open to question. Ryan, because the Jets have been trying so hard to win a Super Bowl since Joe Namath, and, of course, the Giants have really been, of course, like what you pointed out, the big brother, which makes the Jets the little brother until the Jets can get some kind of a way to win some Super Bowls and try to overtake the Giants as the big brother. And here's what Josh says. The Jets are not a playoff team. The Eagles are not a playoff team.
Well, we're going to find out if the Eagles are a playoff team in a little bit when John Marks comes on the line and talks to us about the Philadelphia Eagles.
Shabba brings up an interesting point. Both the Jets and Bills already quarterback away from going to the playoffs.
I don't know. Listen, what wins championships?
Defense.
Defense, right?
Yep.
So with that statement right there, both the Jets and the Bills are already a quarterback away from going to the playoffs. The Bills are going to score more points on defense this year than they are on offense. Watch.
The Jets, though, they ranked 25th in defense, EPA, and 29th in the quarterback rating allowed, 68.4. Last year, they gave up 31 touchdown passes, the third highest total in the league. They picked off 6 passes, which tied for the league low.
Well, listen, I don't think the Jets were going to win a freaking Super Bowl with Geno Smith anyway.
No, because Geno Smith
is not Listen, as far as I'm concerned, Geno Smith ain't a freaking NFL quarterback.
No, he's not. He's not even close because the games that he has started for the Jets has been miserable. He's been an interception machine for the Jets. He has not been able to get them going. I really think that maybe the downturn for the New York Jets was when they let go of Mark Sanchez. Sanchez did a lot to turn the Jet team around, but after Mark Sanchez left, things just went – actually, it went downhill after they lost to Pittsburgh because then they went 8-8 in 2011, and then things just have gone downhill. Yeah. Shabbat goes, I never understood Geno Smith's high draft status.
Yeah, because me neither. Me neither. I never understood it either because I don't think he's an NFL quarterback, actually, personally. That's my opinion, Ryan, okay? My opinion. Don't sue me for that. You got your opinion, I got my opinion, okay, you son of a bitch?
And I know a lot of people are even predicting, though, that, okay, Fitzpatrick could be the answer for the Jets. But I think a lot of people, how they can assess the Jets, though, is what kind of a record do a lot of people feel they're going to be this year. A lot of writers are saying 7-9. I can't wait till the 5th of September when we can kind of go over the Jets' regular season and what their record will be like. I know Josh and I sometimes have had discussions about the Jets and the AFC East. Hard to say.
It's going to be a very interesting AFC East, isn't it?
Yes, with the Patriots dealing with the Deflategate thing, wondering what's going to happen with Tom Brady because he's going back to meet with Goodell in 6 days. The Bills hiring Rex Ryan to be the new coach and how Rex Ryan guarantees that this year the Buffalo Bills will be a playoff team this year. And the Dolphins, though, not sure since the good old days of Dan Marino. And, of course, they've got Ryan Tannehill to be their quarterback right now.
And they paid him an awful lot of money for him to be their quarterback. And Ryan Tannehill. Really? Really? Come on. And you got Sue on the defensive side. And they're in listen, that's the New England Patriots division to lose. Until they lose it, that's their division. So everybody's got to go chase them. I don't think Miami has it. I don't think the Bills have it. I don't think the Jets have it.
Right, and the last time that you saw a team other than the Patriots win the division was 2008, which was the Dolphins. But you got to remember, ever since Belichick and Brady both came to the Patriots, it's been all Patriots domination. Nobody's been able to overtake them for the AFC East. I know it's been frustrating the Jets, Bills, and Dolphins. So the AFC East still is going to go through New England, no question about it. And on that note, we're getting pretty close to the
Josh,
first.
you've been hanging out. Josh, you've been hanging out with my friend Sky too long on Skype with us. He goes, "Don't underestimate the Dolphins." What the heck, man? If my buddy Sky heard me say what I just said about the Dolphins, he'd be killing me right now. He's a big Dolphin fan, Sky.
And, of course, Josh, they made the big move like you told me in conference calls. Okay, make it real quick because we got the interview
don't
coming
worry,
up.
I got the
and
time.
Dominic Sue coming in.
Don't worry, I got the time. I'm on it. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking right at the clock. Don't worry.
Same with me. The Dominic Sue, which was a big addition for the Miami Dolphins. So we'll see how Miami looks, what their defense will be like. And, of course, I think the question I have, not just with Tannehill, but with the Dolphins' offensive line. What will their offensive line be like this year?
That's right. On that note, we're going to run to our first commercial break. On the other side of this commercial break, we're going to have John Marks, radio host of 97.5, The Fanatic, talking Philadelphia Eagles football. This is Jeff Escal, Shawman, talking on
Sports World Radio.
We'll be right back.
Storms move fast, so we use the best technology. That includes Bosch Icon wiper blades.
They're beam blades with memory tension springs and an aerodynamic design,
which means they fit the curve of the windshield. Bosch Icon wiper blades wiped our windshield clean and outlasted any other blade we've used. In my opinion, the Bosch Icon wiper blades are the best blades out there. Bosch Icon wiper blades, how storm chasers clear the way.
Did you know that just 30 minutes a day of physical activity can improve your health and decrease your risk of heart disease? For every hour of regular, vigorous exercise, you gain 2 hours of life expectancy. So start walking for yourself and for your heart. Start walking with your family. You'll feel better. Start walking in your community. You'll lead happier and healthier lives. Start walking. Start something. Join the movement today. For more information on the American Heart Association START program, visit startwalkingnow.org and start walking. Start something.
What kind of person gets to work in the sunshine instead of an office? This kind of person. I am the new way to work. I do have an office. I'm just not chained to it. It's a Regis office at one of the nicest addresses in the city. I don't have a lease, so I don't have to budget for stuff like phones, IT guys, and artwork for the lobby. Instead, I pay one low monthly rate that gives me a beautiful lobby that impresses my clients, a friendly receptionist, a fully furnished office, a place to meet, and a place to brainstorm with my fellow New Way to Workers. We wonder why more people don't realize that the new way to work is the best way to work. I come here because I want to, not because I have to. I am the new way to work, and I'd like you to join me.
Start now and get 1 month free. Call 1-800-OFFICES or visit regis.com/TV.
Hi, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wide world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
All right, welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escal, Sean Mann, bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk each and every Monday through Friday right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. Joining us right now out there from Philadelphia, John Marks from 97.5, The Fanatic. Thank you so much, John, for joining us today here on Sports World Radio.
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
Good. How are you, my friend?
Oh, I'm ready for football. We got. It seems like it's forever. It's like the middle of September. It doesn't start till this year.
I know. We asked you during the break, and I always like to do it on the show. I'm in San Diego. My co-host is up there in Idaho. How's the weather out there in Philadelphia?
Well, it's. I don't know what the weather's like in Idaho. It's been a relatively reasonable summer. I know a lot of people think that because you're in the Northeast and you have You have a lot of snow during the winter and it's cold, but during the summer it can get nasty and humid and hot. So it's actually been relatively mild. So I know that the Eagles players are appreciating now at practice that the humidity's not high, but it's summertime and it's still hot. So, but it's actually been, hey, my electric bills haven't been bad this year, so I'm not complaining.
That's not too bad. Yeah, it's been pretty hot here. We're having a nice little heat wave out here today. It's about 95 where I live, and it's raining, so that's kind of fun.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of different out here. It's not sunny San Diego today, but we need the rain. So I'm not complaining.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I'm not complaining at all. All right, so what do you say we get into some Philadelphia Eagles football talk? I know you're excited about them this year. Chip Kelly, a lot of things happened in the offseason. He's got a lot of quarterbacks on that team. Did you have any idea, or does anybody have any idea what's going inside of the mind of Chip Kelly?
No, I don't think I do. With Chip Kelly, what you have to do is, because he doesn't give you a lot of information, so you kind of have to more or less read the tea leaves that he gives you and say, all right, well, what exactly is going on? What does he think about this player? What does he think about that player? And you could tell that he really didn't like Deshaun Jackson all that much a couple of years ago. And what ended up happening at the end of that season 2 years ago, he ended up cutting him. Same thing with LaShawn McCoy. You could just tell that for whatever reason, Chip was like, I don't know, and then he was gone. So Chip's about one thing. It's not about race, and it's not about wanting this player or that. It's about wanting a player that's 100% committed to playing football year-round. It's not about any nonsense. It's not about a rap career. He wants guys that are fully committed and that don't question what he's trying to do. So he's had a big-time roster change over the last few years, and I feel like right now you're finally at where you're going to see him go forward with a team, with players, with a quarterback, with a running back to take a shot with. But Chip is definitely one of those very eccentric minds that is all about football. He doesn't care about anything other than football. He doesn't care about personal things. He doesn't care. He wants to play football. He wants to coach football. He wants to call plays. He wants to win a Super Bowl. And that's Chip, all business all the time. And so far it's been, at least for as far as regular season wins, it's worked out for him.
John, would the Eagles be interested in Randy Moss at all?
No, I don't think so. And I know that was like he came out kind of lobbying for it. Chip it's interesting because Jeremy Maclin left in the offseason, and he had a really, really productive year last year for the Eagles, and he more or less signed a one-year contract with them and said, hey, I'm going to go all in on myself, and if I have a really good year, I'm going to make a lot of money. If I get injured like I have in some previous years, it might screw me. Chip liked Jeremy Maclin too. He did. It just the cost became really big, and he said, you know what? If I want to have all these other players at these positions, I can't afford to pay a wide receiver this amount of money. So they let him walk. They're actually really strong at wide receiver. You just don't really know it. Jordan Matthews is a second-year player who had 67 catches last year as a rookie. They drafted Nelson Aguilar out of USC. He looks like he has a lot of potential. He's far above anything I've seen as a rookie in a number of years with the Eagles. And they have some other guys that are in there for depth. So the wide receiver position is good. They're not looking to bring anybody else in. But in this offense, the pass really is set up by the run. That's the bread and butter for Chip Kelly, is his running game, the zone read that he does, even though the quarterback can't run. So when they're running the football, that's when they can throw the football and be effective.
John Marks joining us here on Sports World Radio from 97.5 The Fanatic in Philadelphia. John, 3 running backs, Murray, Sproles, and Matthews. He's going to use all 3 of them probably in every single game, isn't he?
Yeah, it's going to be tough because how do you get all those touches to all your players? Last year, Darren Sproles at the beginning of the season was very, very productive running the ball, catching the ball, especially on special teams. Mm-hmm. But then towards the end of the year, and I'll say the last 4 games, Chip kind of forgot about him. And then it didn't seem to work out very well for the Eagles in those games. So he's going to have to be very creative to be able to get a guy like DeMarco Murray who, let's face it, he didn't sign a big contract to get 10, 15 carries a game. He signed a contract to be one of the leading rushers in the NFL. So how do you get Ryan Matthews involved? You paid him pretty big money to come to Philadelphia. Darren Sproles is making over $4 million to be a third down back, to be a guy that lines up maybe in the slot. to be a guy that returns punts. So you have three very skilled guys, three very different players as well. Chip's got to be creative to keep them all involved, because the last thing you want to do, Ryan Matthews making over $3 million a year, if he's getting 2-3 carries a game, that's not money well spent. So he's going to need to be creative this year to get those touches to everybody to try to keep them happy.
And living out here in San Diego, I know Sproles and Matthews are very well. I watched them play throughout the years here for the Chargers, so I know what they can do for a team. And you're right. If they don't get their touches, you might have a problem personal-wise.
Yeah, you're right. And Matthews, and I feel like in today's society with fantasy football, everybody knows like every player, because at some point you've had them on your team, right? And I've had Ryan Matthews on my team a couple times, and he's done well for me. And then with the injuries, as you know, out there in San Diego, he's kind of been a disappointment. So Sproles is great. He really is. He's so good coming out of the backfield. He's actually a lot better runner than a lot of people even realize, because he's so small, he's so short, and he actually gets underneath those big linemen, and he can squeeze in there in the holes. But hopefully Ryan Matthews this year will be able to stay healthy, just because his touches will be limited, because he's a big dude. I was at practice last week, and his size, he looks more like a linebacker than a running back out there. So it'll be interesting to see how the health holds up with DeMarco Murray as well. He had an incredible amount of touches last year, and historically, guys that have that many carries in a season, the next year, they wear some of that tread off their tires, and it shows.
John, your thoughts on the Eagles' off-season from a defensive perspective, like getting stars like Kiko Alonso, Byron Maxwell, and Walter Thurman?
Yeah, it's a good question, and it's something that I spoke about on my show this morning, where we always talk offense in the NFL, offense, Chip Kelly offense. We love the offense, right? The penalties, the league is set up to cater to the offense. But the Eagles' defense actually is much improved. And what you saw at the end of last year was you saw a couple guys in their secondary that just weren't very good. Kerry Williams, who moved on to Seattle, and he'll do well up there because that's an established defense. He just wasn't good enough. And Bradley Fletcher, who was the other corner, really isn't a starter in this league. So they signed Byron Maxwell, who, whether or not he is a true number one and worth over $10 million a year, I'm not going to tell you that. But he can certainly play, and he's a solid corner, and he'll upgrade right there. You mentioned Walter Thurman. His MO, he hasn't been able to stay healthy. I know you're a Giant fan.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't get on the field last year for the Giants. So is he going to be able to do that this year? You hope so. He's looked good in preseason. And they drafted Eric Rowe out of Utah, who, at least to start the year, I don't know if he's going to be a guy that you'll see out there on every down, but as the season progresses, I think you're going to see him get into the lineup more and more. And now the linebacking core, Kiko Alonso, got from Buffalo in that LaShawn McCoy trade. They just signed Michael Kendricks, one of their other inside linebackers, to a contract extension yesterday. And then you have a couple outside linebackers in Brandon Graham and Connor Barwin that can get to the passer. But the bread and butter of this team is their three-down linemen. They run a 3-4 defense, and they're three-down linemen. Fletcher Cox, their best defensive player. He was drafted as a defensive tackle in a 4-3 scheme. He's made an adjustment to play on that line. And then you have Benny Logan, who's the nose tackle out of LSU. And then you have a couple other guys that step in there that can rush the passer and really are unsung heroes. So they actually look like they could have a pretty good defense this year. So if their defense can play almost as well as it looks like they could on paper, and with the potential of this offense, it could be a real strength. So as opposed to previous years where you knew that the defense wasn't going to be very good and you were just hoping that they would be okay, this year's the first year in Philadelphia in a number of years that you can actually look at this defense and have the potential, and it is just the potential to actually be good and be a strength on this team rather than a weakness.
Okay, John, you said you've been out to practice lately. I am the Giants fan. I said that to you on the break while we're waiting to come back here. I'm really eager to know what's going on with Tim Tebow.
Oh, God. the T word you have to mention, right? Well, I let me be totally honest. I don't understand the Tebow phenomenon. I like him. I thought it was fun a couple years ago when he won the game with the Broncos, et cetera, et cetera. But he's been out of the league for a couple of years for a reason, and the reason is he just can't throw the ball well enough to be a quarterback in the NFL in 2015. Now, for whatever reason, Chip Kelly seems to like him, and I don't know if it's because of the two-point conversion, if it's because of the zone read, and he can run the football a little bit. I don't know, but I do know this. He can't throw the football in the NFL, and you've seen that in the 2 preseason games. He's 28 years old. He's a former first-round pick, and you put him back there, and he looks like a rookie, holding on to the ball. He just doesn't get the ball out of his hand. So does Tim Tebow make the team? I go back and forth almost every day with this because you try to read between the lines of what Chip's really thinking, and he might like him for a special purpose on the team. So does he make the team? I'd say there's a better chance right now he does not make the team than he makes it. Matt Barkley from USC is their backup. He's their third string, at least backup. Mark Sanchez is their lead backup. Barkley hasn't done a whole heck of a lot to separate himself from Tebow, but when you watch him, he knows how to deliver the ball. He knows how to run the offense. He looks like a quarterback back there, and Team Tebow just kind of looks like he's gumming up the offense when he goes out there. So I would say the slight favorite right now is Tebow does not make the team.
Hey, John, thank you for confirming everything I've been saying on the show for the last 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, you know this. It's amazing that the Tebow crew comes around, and look, you can't argue with him being a hard worker and him being a guy that you would want on your team. I mean, this is nothing personal against Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow seems like a nice enough fella, and he had a nice little run there with Denver, but there's a reason why he hasn't been in the league, let's face it.
John, my final question I'd like to ask you is, the Eagles know that Tebow could possibly make the team, but who do you think, John, who do you think could be the starting quarterback on September 13th for the Philadelphia Eagles?
Well, it's going to be Sam Bradford, unless he's not healthy, which it's always a possibility. He only played one series, so he hadn't played the first preseason game. Chip Kelly held him out, and he came in, he played one series against the Ravens. They got a touchdown. He got him out of there after 14 snaps. So it's always going to be if. I had Ron Jaworski on my show, and he referred to Sam Bradford as if, because everything's if Sam Bradford. If Sam Bradford can stay healthy, the Eagles could be a Super Bowl contender. If Sam Bradford can stay healthy, he could be a Pro Bowl-type player. If Sam Bradford, unfortunately, he hasn't been able to stay healthy for 2 ACLs, other assorted injuries. So as long as Sam Bradford's healthy, they brought him here to be the starting quarterback, and he will be the starting quarterback. Now, Mark Sanchez is ready to step in, and I'm not a big Mark Sanchez fan as far as being a starting quarterback, but as far as being a backup, he's one of the better backups in the league. He was 4-4 last year when he stepped in for an injured Nick Foles. In the other game that he came in, he played 3 quarters. He won the game, so he was really 5-4. So they have a confident and capable backup. If Bradford goes out for the season, the Eagles are going to be in trouble. They're not going anywhere. If Bradford can stay healthy and Sanchez only needs to play a game or two, this team could maybe go somewhere.
Why, John, I was going to say, why, John, I say that is because it's been something that I've been thinking about, and we've been talking about that on the show throughout the whole course of the year about who do the Eagles want to put as starting quarterback, but I wouldn't be surprised it would be Sam Bradford.
Yeah, it's Bradford. I know there was a lot of talk coming into the offseason that this was an open competition between Sanchez and Bradford. They traded Nick Foles in a second-round draft pick, and they're paying this guy over $13 million to be the quarterback. So while there quote-unquote may have been a quarterback competition, because you never want to tell a guy, hey, you can't win a job, Sam Bradford, unless he was so ineffective and not healthy, he was the quarterback going into this season.
Eagles in a tough division along with the Giants, Cowboys, and Redskins. Well, you don't really have to worry about the Redskins too much. What do you think? What do you see going on in that division?
Yeah, the Redskins don't look like they have much of a chance with the nonsense going on with RG3 and Jay Gruden and Daniel Snyder. So let's forget about that for a second. I'm wondering who's going to run the football for Dallas. And I know that offensive line is one of the better units in the league. So if you get somebody that's healthy, I hear Dallas fans say, well, it doesn't matter who's running the football. Well, it kind of does, because they can't. It doesn't seem like they have a guy that can stay healthy. Darren McFadden has never been able to stay healthy, and he's already had injury issues in training camp. Joseph Randall is most notable for stealing underwear and a cologne from a Dallas department store. And then Lance Dunbar is what he is, who's never been a regular in this league. So Tony Romo was really effective last year, and if you look at his numbers, it was the least he had thrown in a number of years. And you look at what he's done. Tony Romo's a good quarterback. But if you are going to rely on him to throw the ball 50 times a game, and you're going to all put it on him, you're going to be in trouble because he's going to make turnovers and he's going to throw interceptions. So last year they were effective. DeMarco Murray ran the ball almost 400 times. They had other running backs that came in there. So if Dallas can find a running back that can actually run the football and be consistent, they're going to be right back where they were last year. Their defense is upgraded a little bit. I think it'll be a solid unit again. And the Giants are really going to be the wild card here. I just don't know if they have enough defense. We have Steve Spagnuolo, the back of the defensive coordinator of the Giants, won a Super Bowl there in their last Super Bowl run. And he really knows what he's doing, but you need players. Scheme can only get you so far. I don't know if they have enough on the back end in the secondary. JPP and his injuries and all the nonsense that's going on with that. I don't know where the pass rush is going to come from. So I expect a good offense out of the Giants. It's just, is the defense good enough to help Eli when he struggles? So I would really put the Eagles and the Cowboys in almost in the same sentences, 10 or 11 wins. And then the Giants right behind them. And you know what happens every year, and it seems like it's like this in the NFC East. There's a team that surprises that wasn't expected to compete that year. So you look at 2000, I believe it was 2011, where RG3's rookie year, they kind of came out of nowhere and they won the division. And then it was the Eagles the next season, and last year with the Cowboys. Everybody expected the Eagles to win the division, and the Cowboys won it. So don't count the Giants out of the conversation. It's going to be a competitive division for sure.
It always is a fun division. I love growing up watching that division. A lot of fun. I know we're pressed for time. I know you got to get out of here. Final two questions. What kind of record do you see for the Eagles this year?
Well, I think if you look at their schedule, and Chip Kelly really beats up on bad teams, and it's, can he beat the good teams? Can he beat the Bruce Arians? Can he beat the good defensive coordinators? That's where he struggled, and that's the bell he's going to have to answer this year. Because if you look at that, you look at the schedule, they have a couple tomato cans on that schedule that they're going to beat up on. So I would say an easy 10 wins, and it's just more or less what he's able to do in December and get into the playoffs and win a game. So I'd say 10, 11 games for the Eagles, and I'd say the same thing for the Cowboys.
Okay, and the final question before we do let you go. Super Bowl 50 is coming. Let's make your prediction for Super Bowl 50.
Oh, wow. You know, it's tough to go against the Seahawks right now, and it would make 3 straight going to the Super Bowl, which doesn't happen very often. But you look at Green Bay with Jordy Nelson going down, and Aaron Rodgers is a great quarterback, and you can't win in this league without a great quarterback. And you can win without great wide receivers. We've seen that. But Jordy Nelson is what makes that offense go. And I'm going to be interested to see. They still have some talent at wide receiver, but that back throw, that back shoulder throw that Jordy Nelson and Aaron Rodgers are always on the same page, the chemistry among those two is unbelievable. So right now I'd have to handicap it as the Seahawks going back to the Super Bowl with the Packers, and then maybe the Cowboys or the Eagles as the third team in the NFC. And then I don't know. You'd never want to count the Patriots out, but I just don't. I don't know how they're going to get back with all this turmoil and Tom Brady a year older. But the other thing is the AFC's wide open, and Peyton Manning's a year older, and he looked kind of broken down last year. Is this the year for Andrew Luck and the Colts to take that next step? I'm actually going to go with the Ravens and Joe Flacco. And that team, they're built on defense, and they've become kind of an offensive team on top of that. So I will go Ravens and Seahawks, and then from there, we'll see what happens.
Okay, and one of our listeners just put a question in the chat room. Eagles are making the playoffs, right?
Eagles are making the playoffs, yeah. I would say that right now.
See, I did it really quick for you, Andrew. You happy, buddy? There you go. Hey, before we let you go, why don't you let the folks know how they can follow you online?
Appreciate that. You can follow me on Twitter. It's at JohnMarks975. It's JohnMarks 975, and that's a good way. You guys need to follow me as well, and then I'll follow back, and we'll talk during football season and everything else. And you can listen to me in Philadelphia on 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm on 6 to 10 a.m. You can go to any of the online listen apps. You can go to 975thefanatic.com. It's on the iPhone and everything like that. So check me out. Football season's coming, and I'm ready for it.
Yeah, we are too. Hey, John, thank you so much for joining us here on Sports World Radio. We really appreciate your time, and I hope we can do it again during the season.
My pleasure. Just call me up, guys. I'm ready to talk football anytime. It's my pleasure.
All right. Thank you again, John.
You got it, guys. Thanks.
There goes John Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic radio host, Philadelphia Eagles talk. We're going to run to an update really quick. We're a little bit behind schedule, but we're going to run to an update right now. This update is brought to you by The Flipper. Head on over to flipperflipper.com and never, ever touch your toilet seat ever again. It's The Flipper, and it's at flipperflipper.com. Take it away, Sean Mann, with the first update of the day.
All right, Jeff, thank you very much. Thank you, John, for coming in today for your perspective on the Philadelphia Eagles. It is 53 minutes after the hour. Major League Baseball, here's the action for tonight. Astros at Yankees, Padres at Nationals, Mets at Phillies, Angels at Tigers, Brewers at Indians, Rockies at the Braves, Dodgers at the Reds, Pirates at the Marlins, Twins at the Rays, Blue Jays at the Rangers, Red Sox at White Sox, Orioles at Royals, Cardinals at Diamondbacks, Athletics at Mariners, and lastly it'll be the Cubs taking on the Giants. This concludes all the games for this Tuesday night for Major League Baseball. In the NFL, it has been reported that Michael Vick and his agents did meet with the Pittsburgh Steelers to discuss the possibility of him playing alongside Ben Roethlisberger. So we'll see if that is a true statement, if he gets that signing done, or a non-true statement. Today, the New England Patriots did something. Despite all the things going on with Deflategate, the Patriots introduced Reggie Wayne. Reggie Wayne came and he said, quote, "I'm just ready to win and play football for the New England Patriots." Speaking of the Patriots, the preseason resumes on Friday for Week 3. You got the Patriots at the Panthers, Lions at the Jaguars, Titans at the Chiefs. That's for Friday's action. For Saturday, of course, you'll have the Steelers at the Bills, Falcons at the Dolphins, Browns at the Buccaneers, Vikings taking on the Cowboys, Jets at the Giants, Bears at the Bengals, Redskins at the Ravens, Seahawks at the Chargers, Eagles at the Packers, Colts at the Rams, 49ers at the Broncos. This is the first of two updates for Sports World Radio. This update was brought to you by The Flipper. Go to flipperflipper.com and never, ever have to touch your toilet seat ever again. When we come back from this commercial break and update, we will have Josh Lopez coming on and Frank Sprankle, and we got the Skippy Bayless Bash Hour. Be right back after this commercial break.
Welcome to the Man Manual. Man comes with a multifunctional casing known as skin. It is remarkable. Warning, standard body wash can cause damage to man's skin. Maintain it properly with Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. It cleans man and protects skin from dryness. This will keep man's skin remarkable, even under extreme testing. Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. Skin care built in. Also, freshen man's exterior with new Aqua Impact Body Wash.
Why does consultant Jerry Howell stay at La Quinta?
Can you come back tomorrow?
Because only with La Quinta can Jerry instant hold the room tonight using just his phone number. And then power down for tomorrow on his pillow top bed. And when Jerry's refreshed, you know what he does?
We need ideas, people. Think.
Synergistic integration.
Genius.
He thinks outside the box.
I'm going for it. No.
La Quinta Inns and Suites take care of you so you can take care of business. Instant hold your next stay on your smartphone at LQ.com.
La Quinta.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
Hi, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wide world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Eskow, Sean Mann, the fastest 2 hours of sports talk right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. 6 o'clock on the East, 3 o'clock on the West, and if you live in the Central,
figure it out for yourself.
Somebody said 5 p.m. The other one said figure it out for yourself. Holy freaking Toledo, Batman.
That was me. And Josh got the time right.
We're just coming back from break. We had John Marks, 97.5, the Fanatic radio host out there in Philadelphia, talking Eagles talk. I hope you guys liked that interview. He said, I mentioned the T word to him. He didn't like that too much, did he?
I forgot how you guys had the word if go over your heads, both of you. He said if about Sam Bradford like 6 times.
I know, but I didn't want to interrupt him. You know, I didn't
felt
want to.
The interview went very well. Thank you.
Nobody said the interview went bad.
I didn't want to interrupt him and say, John, hold on. If you used the word if, well, this is what I think of if. I didn't want to interrupt him. He was on a flow.
Minutes.
You know, next time he comes on the air, before we go on the air, I'll turn around to him and say, next time you say the word if, I'm going to interrupt you.
Mm-hmm. 58 minutes after the hour before we have to bring Frank Sprinkle on in a few minutes before we have to run to a quick commercial break again. But here we go. Quick story. Breaking news. The NBA has fined the LA Clippers $250,000 after an investigation found that the team had violated league rules while trying to sign DeAndre Jordan last month. Should I put that name on the list? The NBA for finding the Clippers.
Yes.
That's stupid.
Put him in the list. No.
I will. What do you think of that, Jeff?
I think you guys are whacked in the head.
DeAndre Jordan.
What else is new?
You already brought me on.
How about this, Frank? The Clippers fined $250,000 after an investigation found that the team had violated league rules.
Violated? That's a pretty good.
Violated.
Hey,
yes.
Frank, that's the ugliest Chicago picture I've ever seen in my life.
Ugliest?
That's what I just said, didn't I? I don't speak freaking English.
Josh won the bet, then you know what? There it is.
But that's not for you to decide what picture you choose. Josh has to give it to you.
Well,
too
we
bad.
came to a mutual agreement that we would pick the pictures.
Oh,
I don't recall this.
Oh, wow.
Dude, hey, you know what? The White Sox, hey, Hump, you know what the White Sox are doing on Thursday?
What's that?
They are wearing their 1976 home uniforms. I don't know if it's the white or if it's the navy blue Chicagoan script. They're wearing those against the Mariners on Thursday night.
Interesting.
They're wearing their shorts?
It's
you know what? They have to. They have to wear the shorts.
And you know what else is happening on Thursday? Sean Mann will be rocking White Sox logos.
Bullshit. Bullshit. You lost
There's
the
my
first
White
game.
Sox logo.
You know, Josh, if I were you, I would not say one peep from your mouth. You need everything on your side, and if you want to win this bet. And on that note, we have to go to another commercial break.
Hey, Josh.
What's up, buddy?
You're going to be having everybody having White Sox logos except for me.
No!
You'll have a Bears logo in November.
I can't change this freak. I can't change the logos, man. This is
Josh,
our logo.
You better hope and pray the White Sox win, because if not, your ass is mine, pal. I've got plenty of Red Sox for you to put up. Yeah, we have to go to commercial break.
Oh, he's getting a little ornery. We'll be right back. You're listening to Jeff Escow, Showman, Frank Sprinkle, Josh Lopez on
SportsWorldRadio82515.
I had
PTSD. Once I was back from Iraq, I was distant from everybody in my family.
We had a reunion of our unit, and you'd hear these spouses say, "Is your husband doing that? My husband's doing that too. I thought it was just us." And really understanding that, hey, this is a common experience.
I learned more to listen to what he was saying, and that made it easier for me to understand where his pain was coming from.
Warriors should know that resources are available. Learn more at realwarriors.net.
Every parent wants the safest and healthiest products for their family. That's why I created The Honest Company. I was just a concerned mom with a crazy dream. A wish that there was a company that I could rely on that did all of the hard work for me. I'm Jessica Alba, and The Honest Company was my dream.
LegalZoom has helped 1 million businesses successfully get started, including Jessica's. Launch your dream at LegalZoom today. Call us. We're here to help.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't too. Don't wait until it's too late.
Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wide world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escow, Sean Mann, bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk each and every Monday through Friday right here on Sports World Radio. Sometimes I just can't help from keeping the laughter going from the break into the show. Hey, if you want to know... What the hell? If you want to know what we're talking about during the commercial break, head on over to swrsportshorts.com/SWR Sport Shorts and sign up today. Okay, boys, what are we doing?
Sean, all right. Go ahead, buddy.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the Aftershock Man is here, and I have to say it's time for the Skippy Bayless Bash Hour. What did that dumb fool say today?
I gotta say, the past couple of editions of the Bash Hour has been some of my favorites. Obviously, it's a signature of the show, but man, I love that. I love that segment.
Hey, we should have a contest. Shock Skip.
All right.
And by the way, anybody got a birthday present for Joey Crawford? His birthday's in 5 days, folks.
No, retire.
Oh, retire? Because I'm thinking, how old is Joey Crawford going to be?
He's going to be 64. Is Skippy there, Frank?
64? He looks like he's 74.
Wait, he runs up the court. It's obvious.
Here we go. First quote of the day. Skippy Bayless said that
Let's begin the torture, shall we?
No.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers will be the surprise of the NFL this season.
Is he basing it on last night's preseason game?
Yes.
Why? Because they got Jameson Winston, and he thinks he's going to be the real deal. Keep in mind, Skippy, that Jeff's got the list of Heisman Trophy winners that have been busting this league.
Yeah, don't make me go pull out the list, you prick.
Skippy Bayless said that
Let's continue the torture, shall we?
He says my Boston Red Sox need to fire John Farrell now.
The guy got an extension. He's got cancer, you dumb, stupid fool. What the hell's your problem?
The hell's an extension mean? Nothing.
He's got cancer.
Settle down.
What the hell is your problem there, Skippy? Jeez.
I love how Justice puts that in there like nothing. Extensions don't mean anything.
How would you like? Let me ask Sean this: how would you like to be fired after you sign an extension and you get to sit on your rear end making millions and millions of dollars?
I'd be fighting the cancer like he is. What the heck's
your
problem?
Listen, in all seriousness, I hope he does well. I mean, he's in my Boston Braves.
The extension isn't worth the paper it's written on.
Well, they're expected to bring him back, and when he comes back, you guys will be wrong, and I will be
okay,
right.
Buddy. Okay, no. No, wait one second. Hold on there, Freebird. Wait 1 second there. How long did he sign? How long was the extension for?
It was through 2017.
He ain't making it.
He is too. There's no way they can let him go. The guy gets an extension.
There's no way. There's no way they can let him go after finishing 2 years in a row in last place. Yeah, scratch my ass.
I got your extension right here.
Have some respect. The man's got cancer, for Christ's sake.
I don't give a flying fig Newton what he's got.
Oh my God.
Okay.
At least he does fine.
I hope. Yeah.
Thank you,
Hey,
Frank.
listen.
Yes.
I hope everything comes out great. Flying colors. He passes through it. But for Jiminy Cricket's sakes. Is he or is he not the manager of the Red Sox?
He is the manager of the Red Sox.
So, is he or is he not responsible for the way they're playing?
No, I don't think so. No.
No? The manager's not responsible for the way his players play on the field?
Well,
those are the ones that set up the lineup.
If the managers, right, if the managers aren't responsible for the players playing on the field, then there shouldn't be a goddamn manager coaching the freaking game, should there be?
I want to ask Sean this.
Yeah,
Sean,
sure,
I want to ask Sean this. How do you explain what happened in Atlanta when the Red Sox were playing the Braves, and during the game, Pablo Sandoval was looking at Instagram in the bathroom? How do you explain that?
That makes quite a story there, Frank. You had to
Well,
hit
some control he's having.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's get to the next quote, please. I'm about to throw up listening to this complaining here.
I got that right in front of you. Go ahead.
Skippy Bayless said O.C. Unera was a overrated New York Giant.
Dude, the guy was awesome. One thing
Jeff,
about those Giants when they won those Super Bowls, they had great defense. Nobody was overrated.
I dare you to say that to him to his face. See, you know what? Hey, you know what? See, you know what you are, Skippy?
Mm-hmm.
You know what you are? Instead of a keyboard bully, you're a mic bully, just like me.
Hey, Jeff, you got to say this. Throughout the Super Bowl appearances of the New York Giants, maybe not the best defenses of all time, but they've had some pretty darn good defenses.
Yeah.
Skippy Bayless said he's not a fan of the Dudley Boys, and he did not like the return of the Dudley Boys last night on Raw.
That's okay.
WWE, here we go.
That's okay. We're not fans of you. That's why we do this show and bash the crap out of you.
That's why it's called the Skippy Bayless Bash Hour every Monday and Friday.
Skippy Bayless said that Alex Rodriguez is winning the Comeback Player of the Year for the American League.
How in the devil do
Coming
you
back
put
to what, steroids?
How in the devil do you put A-Royd on the list?
Look, I don't think
very well.
He has a good point there, actually, though.
He sucks, A-Royd.
Quite frankly, Alex Rodriguez has the exponential career of having 30 home runs on average.
You know what? Not Stephen A. Smith. Just shut your gap.
Quite
Listen,
frankly,
he can
I
win
need you
Comeback
to shut
Player
up
of the
too.
Year, but he's not a Hall of Famer.
Oh, Stephen A. Go suck it.
Skippy Bayless said that Pittsburgh Steelers should invest in Michael Vick.
Michael Vick to the Steelers? Yes, we talked about that, Frank, on the first hour.
No, he visited the Steelers, did he not?
Yes, he visited with the Steelers, but I don't think the Steelers should go after him.
How old is he now, 34, 35?
35 years old, Frank.
Okay, he's 35 years old. Now, remember when Vic came into the league with Atlanta, he was pretty much like a Russell Wilson-type quarterback?
Yeah.
Listen, I think he's been able to throw the ball very well, but at best he's going to be a backup to Roethlisberger.
Skippy Bayless said that my Chicago Cubs will make the playoffs.
Thank you. I think they will, too. Next.
They got a big series.
That's not a good thing. It's going to put a curse on them now.
They got
look at all the times he ripped them. Now he's rooting for him.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, so wait, you think this is some sort of a cover-up?
Yes.
He's backpedaling.
It's a freaking hump.
He's backpedaling.
By the way, I love the hey, you know what? The one-game playoff really works because the Cubs are holding that number 2 spot.
Well, they have a. You want to know something?
Game.
They got a big series. They got the Giants, man.
I'll say this is more make or break.
They swept
for
the Giants
than
last
the
week.
Cubs.
That's exactly why the play-it game is an idiotic, stupid joke.
Hey, the Pirates could lose a bunch of series in September and immediately lose that top seeding in the NL wildcard zone.
Scratch my patootie.
I'm scared.
Skippy Bayless said that He said that my Cincinnati Bengals let him down last night. Andy Dalton should be worried about his position as starting quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay, you know what? That's it. I'm done with Cincinnati. Just because you put the word "my" in front of them. That's it.
The Bengals or the entire city?
No, that's it. I'm done with the Bengals. That's it.
What the heck? Are you boycotting them, Jeff?
No, you know why? Because that stupid son of a bitch, Skip Bayless, puts the word "my" in front of Cincinnati when I've been rooting them for the last 3 or 4 years, making them my Dark Toast team and putting Andy Dalton up there on a pedestal and doing all that. What? Now you're just coming around, Skip Bayless? Screw you, you jackass!
Hey, I would like to speak to those at the Skyline Chili restaurants in and around Cincinnati. Skyline Chili is awesome. It's a business in Cincinnati. Please do not serve Skip Bayless.
Sure, yeah. Well, the point is that you got to give the Bengals some slack. They haven't won a playoff game since January of 1991.
Skippy Bayless said that Andrew Luck got nothing on Tony Romo.
Oh, yeah, he does. How about playoff wins? Playoff wins.
Got more playoff wins than Tony Romo.
That is a stupid comment, Skippy. Look at the playoff wins.
Look where it comes from, Sean.
I mean, that's what I would turn. If I was live with him and he said that, I would turn around to him. Yeah, he does. He's got more playoff wins than Tony Romo. And he's been in the league less time.
We need the debate.
Man, what a stupid comment. Jeez, that's stupid.
Skippy Bayless said that he would whip Ric Flair.
And what?
Tiddlywinks.
You couldn't whoop anybody, Skippy. Shut your yap.
With what? Whipped cream? What?
And tiddlywinks.
In wrestling.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
and
my
girls.
goodness, this guy's delusional. And what?
He said girls, too.
Yeah,
oh, my goodness. I don't see any girls talking to Skip Bayless.
Josh, that's addressed towards you since you're the wrestling expert.
He's got such a big ego.
Actually, I don't call myself a wrestling expert. That label just makes me want to throw up. But I'll explain why in the commercial break.
Yeah.
Skip Bayless has got the biggest ego I've ever seen in my life.
Yes. And one more quote before we head to that commercial break. Skippy Bayless said that he said my Philadelphia Eagles will blow away the competition, but the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, God.
He didn't say my Dallas Cowboys. Wait, I thought he was a Cowboys fan, but he didn't say my Dallas Cowboys. He just said my Philadelphia.
According to John Marks, the Eagles are going 10-6.
He said the Cowboys were going to have more than 10 wins too.
Yeah, how about that?
Because he's happy. They went 12-4 last year and won a playoff
They ain't
game.
going to do it this year.
I don't know if 10 wins will win the division in the East.
Well, he did say that they'll go to the playoffs.
Yeah, maybe there's a wild card.
I'm kind of hoping that the Giants just come in there and freak them all out.
It's going to be interesting. September 13th on NBC
I kind of
Chris Collinsworth.
Yeah, I kind of agreed with him about their defense, about their back-end defense.
Josh, Chris Collinsworth, Sunday Night Football, Giants and Cowboys.
Who cares? Hey, we're going to run to a quick commercial break. You listen to Jeff Escow, Showman, Josh Lopez, Frank Sprankle on
SportsWorldRadio.
Did you know that just 30 minutes a day of physical activity can improve your health and decrease your risk of heart disease? For every hour of regular, vigorous exercise, you gain 2 hours of life expectancy. So start walking for yourself and for your heart. Start walking with your family. You'll feel better. Start walking in your community. You'll lead happier and healthier lives. Start walking. Start something. Join the movement today. For more information on the American Heart Association START program, visit startwalkingnow.org and start walking. Start something.
Storms move fast, so we use the best technology. That includes Bosch Icon wiper blades.
They're beam blades with memory tension springs and an aerodynamic design,
which means they fit the curve of the windshield. Bosch Icon wiper blades wiped our windshield clean and outlasted any other blade we've used. In my opinion, the Bosch Icon wiper blades are the best blades out there. Bosch Icon wiper blades, how storm chasers clear the way.
What kind of person gets to work in the sunshine instead of an office? This kind of person. I am the new way to work. I do have an office. I'm just not chained to it. It's a Regis office at one of the nicest addresses in the city. I don't have a lease, so I don't have to budget for stuff like phones, IT guys, and artwork for the lobby. Instead, I pay one low monthly rate that gives me a beautiful lobby that impresses my clients, a friendly receptionist, a fully furnished office, a place to meet, and a place to brainstorm with my fellow new way to workers. We wonder why more people don't realize that the new way to work is the best way to work. I come here because I want to, not because I have to. I am the new way to work, and I'd like you to join me.
Start now and get 1 month free. Call 1-800-OFFICES or visit regis.com/TV.
Hi, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wide world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escow Show, man. Bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk each and every Monday through Friday right here on Sports World Radio. SportsWorldRadio82515. All right, we finished up the Skippy quotes?
Nope, not yet.
All right,
Any more shocks?
Let's get back to the bashing then.
Skippy Bayless said that he said that my Houston Astros should make the playoffs and be an AL league contender.
I have to agree with Skippy on that. You know, Houston has really played good ball of late. They've come along. They should have beat the Yankees last night. They're winning right now.
Quite frankly, I find your sentiments quite blasphemous.
I don't care what you say, quite frankly. Go ahead, Frank.
Of course the Astros should be in the playoffs. They've had that division won pretty much. It's been like the Cardinals, although not as big of a lead. Listen, the Astros have been very impressive with their young talent. I would love to see what they can do in the postseason.
What do you think, Jeff?
I'm over here cracking up. I had to turn my I had to turn my mic down so you couldn't hear me. I'm laughing so hard over here.
Well, that's very comforting to know. I'm glad you're getting a good laugh out of the whole thing.
Oh, I'm actually laughing at your expense.
Oh, God, I'm laughing at the expense. What's the next quote from the Bash Hour?
Skippy Bayless said that the Dallas Cowboys have the best stadium in football.
He didn't say my Dallas Cowboys. Jeez, does he like the Cowboys all of a sudden?
Well, quite frankly, I think the Dallas Cowboys have the beneficiary of having a copious leader like Jerry Jones.
Hey, Stephen A., come up with something besides quite frankly, for Christ's sake. Come up with something different.
Copious?
Hey, let me ask you this. Why hasn't that stadium been another contender for another Super Bowl?
Because it's Jerry's house. Copious?
Yeah. Beneficiary and copious.
Beneficiary and copious in the same sentence.
Frank, you have to remember that Jerry Jones took the heat because he screwed up with the seating arrangements at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, why do you think the Cowboys haven't been asked to host another Super Bowl?
I'm telling you something right now. Anybody that paid $500 to have a pole sit in front of them Jerry Jones should be shot.
Yeah, exactly.
How about that, Jeff? You would have been upset if you would have gone to a Super Bowl and then it says, "Sorry, Mr. Eskow, seating went bad."
Yeah,
Did you have to leave afterwards?
If my seat,
bad, you gotta leave.
If my seat was in front of a pole, I can guarantee you Jerry Jones would have heard my mouth.
I can tell.
I'm surprised nobody sued Jerry Jones.
I remember that one show that Jeff and I did. Jeff, you blew up at Jerry Jones so bad with that whole
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You're going to stick me behind a pole? I just paid all this money? Yeah,
Josh,
I got.
Hey,
you know what, Jerry? I got your pole right here.
Quite frankly, I find your retort quite affable.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I agree with your conundrum.
You all of a sudden become smarter.
What, Frank?
All of a sudden we're smart.
Look at Sean, I stubbed my finger on Don Stevens.
Nice.
Hey, good gosh.
All right, next quote. Skippy Bayless said that CZ should win Tough Enough.
He's going to.
Jeff?
He's going to, that fat bastard.
Tough Enough's finale airs right after we get the hell out of here. Skippy Bayless said that my... There you go. He said that my Seattle Seahawks are now the favorites for the NFC.
Okay, you know what? You change your mind more than a woman changes her tampon when she's on her freaking period, because that's not what you said last week.
Yep.
Every single week you got a different NFC freaking representative. Make up your mind and stick to it, man.
Stick to your convictions, you stupid idiot. Jeez. What do you say to that, Frank? The Seahawks are now my representative for the NFC. What do you say?
Does this have to do, because I heard the interview and the point was touched about Jordy Nelson and the injury. Is that it? Listen, I do think Jordy Nelson is going to be a factor in terms of the Packers passing game, but you didn't lose number 12.
What factor? He's out for the season. He's out for the season.
I know that, dude.
You just said, he's going to be an asset for the season when he's not playing.
Rodgers will be a non-factor.
So you think Aaron Rodgers is going to be a non-factor?
I think Jordy Nelson will be a non-factor, and that's going to really...
no kidding. He's out for the season.
And then the Packers have to make their move to try to compete, since they have Rodgers at number 1
for the top 10 list.
Listen, this team will be fine. Listen, the reason why Jordy Nelson was great is because he had a great quarterback like Aaron Rodgers helping him. Let's face it, Aaron Rodgers makes his teammates better. Anybody that steps up into the shoes of Jordy Nelson will be better because of Aaron Rodgers. I guarantee it.
Quite frankly, I ain't throw for your statements because if that was the case, the Green Bay Packers would have been in the Super Bowl last year.
Quite frankly, come up with something different.
Okay, how about quite utterly?
Yeah, that's a little better.
Dude, we're like making up words here.
All right, Scooty Bale said that. My Pittsburgh Pirates are awesome.
Yeah, they are awesome.
Whoa. When
What?
did they become his Pittsburgh Pirates?
Because they're winning?
Oh, yeah, sure.
You know, he is a gluttony for winners.
Because he's winning? That's why? Because he only chases winners. He doesn't chase losers.
But remember this from Wes. We are family.
Well, I don't care, but Skip Bayless only chases winners. He doesn't chase losers. As soon as the team that he's rooting for starts to suck, he's out at the door quicker than daylight.
We are overachievers.
And how about Skippy doing this? How about him dancing to "We Are Family" when the Pirates continue to keep
Oh, God.
Frank, what do you think of that? About the Pirates being his team?
His team? Of course they're his team. And him and the Cubs will be... All right, I guarantee you, if it is indeed him and the Cubs in that one-game wild card playoff, he'll be saying the next day, my this, my that, my Cubs won, my Pirates won.
That play-in game is a stupid joke.
Like
if the Red Sox were in it, if the Red Sox were the number 2 seed, you'd be thinking otherwise.
If my mother had balls, she'd be my father.
Exactly.
I'd be wearing the gear, but I'd still be saying it's cheesy.
Exactly.
I love it.
Skippy Bayless said that if he was in a rock band like Van Halen, they would sell more records than Michael Jackson.
Yeah, get the hell out of here. You're an idiot. You're such an idiot, okay?
That's an insult to David Lee and Sam.
You're such an idiot,
That's
dude.
an insult to Eddie.
You can't even carry a freaking tune.
Hey, Josh, on that quote, was Michael Jackson on that quote that you have there for Skippy there?
Yes.
Well, he could say something like, beat it, Skippy, beat it.
I don't know how this guy can carry a tune when every time before he speaks he has to do this.
I know.
Or
does Skip Bayless want to go into music now all of a sudden?
He could not do very well as a musician.
Quite frankly, he's a master of all trades.
All trades?
Skippy Bayless said that he would set a sentiment. My bad. Sorry. Let me rephrase that again.
Yeah, you bet.
Skippy Bayless said that he would be a pioneer when it came to Big Brother if he was in a season of Big Brother.
Yeah, okay. You know what, Skip? Skip, if I get on that show, I want you on that show with me so I can just rip the shreds out of you 24 hours a day.
Skippy Bayless Bash Hour until he hits the red
Skippy
button.
Bayless Bash Hour 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And you want to know something, Skip? I won't even miss smoking cigarettes. I'll just continually bash you, even when you're trying to go to sleep.
He'd probably be like, "Hello, Mr. Eskel. My name is Skippy Bayless.
I don't
How
care.
would you like to have my autograph?"
No, I don't want your autograph. I want to sit here and bash you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Tony Romo stinks. He's never going to win a Super Bowl, okay? Tim Tebow's never going to play in the NFL. Your opinions suck. How about that? I'm going to sit there and just harass the living crap out of you and force you to hit that red button to get out of my goddamn house.
I take that Josh is on mute laughing.
I can't take Jeff seriously if he was on Big Brother. I'm just sweet dying laughing.
And
the whole time.
hey Frank, Skippy's going to be on Big Brother. Get ready to watch.
No, cool. Dang, do you want the popcorn? Can I get the popcorn out?
Yeah, get the popcorn ready because I'm going to. You know what? That's where the debate's going to happen because he's going to be stuck with me for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. He ain't going to be able to get away from him. I'm going to be like, okay, where's that prick Skippy now? Where's that prick Skip now?
Josh, Frank, and I can do one thing. We'll get the popcorn and we'll get the hot dog and the beers, and we'll watch Jeff go right at it with Escal. I mean, go after it with
dude, we'll need plenty of beer for that.
Skippy Bayless wants to purchase stock in the WWE. He wants to be a stockholder.
Tough titties.
I think he's saying this just to get to you, Jeff.
I'm already. Hey, you know what, Skip? You're a little too late. I'm already a stockholder. I beat you to it.
And don't forget, Skippy, you're the douche canoe not once but twice in the month of August.
Look at Schaber. Right. Look at Schaber. For that, I'd actually watch Big Brother.
All right, as we head off here with the Skippy Bayless Bash Hour, Skippy Bayless said that he says that my New York Jets will surprise people in the AFC East.
I thought that was your freaking New England Patriots.
Buffalo will.
Hey, Skippy, the more you put my in front of that, you'll know one thing, that you're beginning to jinx every team that you're picking.
Unbelievable.
That's a wrap for the Skippy Bayless Bash Hour. I'll have more quotes for you tomorrow, hopefully, if I'm on the air tomorrow.
You should be on the air tomorrow. You don't have to write no articles.
I know, but we got a busy show with Ron coming back, so.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see. Hey, we're going to run to our final update of the day. This update is brought to you by The Flipper. Head on over to flipperflipper.com and never, ever touch your toilet seat ever again. It's The Flipper, and it's at flipperflipper.com. Take it away, Josh Lopez, with the final update of the day.
Thank you, Jeff, Frank, and Sean. Welcome, everybody. Final update of the day for Sports World Radio. Thank you once again to John Marks for 97.5 The Fanatic for coming out today's Sports World Radio show. Tomorrow we'll be talking to Jonathan Machada from the Dallas Morning News. He's a Dallas Cowboys writer, so I'm sure you'll get his perspective on Skippy Bayless. The Denver Broncos signed guard Evan Mathis from the Philadelphia Eagles after being released last week for the Eagles. Scores right now for baseball: Astros up 5-0 against the New York Yankees, top first. Mets up 2-0 against the Phillies. Padres up 2-0 against the Nationals. 4-0 Angels in Detroit. Minnesota up 3-0 against Tampa Bay. High scoring in early parts of the game. Pirates up 1-0 against the Marlins. Brewers at Cleveland, interleague action. Colorado at Atlanta. Dodgers up 1-0 against the Reds. Blue Jays at Rangers. Red Sox, White Sox. Orioles, Royals. Cardinals, Diamondbacks. Mariners at A's. And then the late night game, finally, the Chicago Cubs at the San Francisco Giants. Week 3 of the NFL preseason is this week. And let's take a look at who's playing for our respective teams. For Sean, the Patriots take on the Carolina Panthers on August 28th. That's Friday. For Jeff, the Giants take on the Jets this week on Saturday. The Bears are in Cincinnati as they take on the Bengals. And this update's been brought to you by The Flipper. Go to flipperflipper.com for more information. We'll be back with more Sports World Radio with Jeff Escal, Sean Mann, and the big win himself, Welcher Boy, Frank Sprinkle.
Welcome to the Man Manual. Man comes with a multifunctional casing known as skin. It is remarkable. Warning, standard body wash can cause damage to man's skin. Maintain it properly with Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. It cleans man and protects skin from dryness. This will keep man's skin remarkable, even under extreme testing. Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. Skin care built in. Also, freshen man's exterior with new Aqua Impact Body Wash.
Why does consultant Jerry Howell stay at La Quinta?
Can you come back tomorrow?
Because only with La Quinta can Jerry instant hold the room tonight using just his phone number. And then power down for tomorrow on his pillow top bed. And when Jerry's refreshed, you know what he does?
We need ideas, people. Think. Synergistic integration. Genius.
He thinks outside the box.
I'm going for it. No.
La Quinta Inns and Suites take care of you so you can take care of business. Instant hold your next stay on your smartphone at LQ.com.
La Quinta.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
Hi, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wide world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Eskow, Sean Mann, bringing you the fast 2 hours of sports talk each and every Monday through Friday right here on Sports World Radio. All right, we got Frank Sprankle sitting in with us like he does each and every Tuesday and Thursday in the second hour of the show. Where we going, boys?
All right, 33 minutes after the hour on the 25th of August, 2015. Breaking news, of course, came into Major League Baseball and all over the Sports World Radio airways and everywhere, and that would be Curt Schilling getting busted for comments that he said and suspended by ESPN because of Nazism. Frank, your thoughts?
Well, understand, too, Curt Schilling posted a picture on his Twitter feed, and it's a picture that does feature Adolf Hitler with the words here, and I'll quote, it said only 5 to 10% of Muslims are extremists. In 1940, only 7% of Germans were Nazis. How'd that go? That's what he tweeted now, and then he tweeted some words right below the picture. The math is staggering when you get to truth. Actually got the hashtag '*S.
I have to say that was shocking when I got up this morning before I had to get ready to go to my class for college, and I just saw that, and I said, Schilling, really? You said that on your Twitter? I was like, and it just has angered a lot of people. One of the things you have to realize when you're working for ESPN, Fox Sports, or whatever, think before you speak and think before you act. Those are the two mottos.
You know what I was thinking about? I don't know.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys this. Do you think this could cost him his job?
The fact that they suspended him means that he will probably be back with ESPN, but I'm going to just say no. I don't think it's going to cost him his job. What do you think, Jeff?
Personally, I think what Chris Carter did was worse.
Right, you mentioned that. Chris Carter went on that tirade, and then he apologized.
Well, the only reason why he apologized was because Chris Carter got caught. If Chris Carter didn't get caught, he would have never apologized. And what Chris Carter did was worse. My personal opinion, listen, I'm Jewish, okay? This here picture and everything I'm Jewish. This doesn't offend me, okay? It might offend other people. It doesn't offend me at all. Personally, what Chris Carter did offended me more than this did. And Chris Carter got a slap on the wrist, and he gets suspended from ESPN, Schilling. That don't work. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
And it's a blunder. It's a blunder by ESPN that, with what you're telling me, Jeff, about what Carter did being worse than Curt Schilling. But you got to remember this, too. If you work for ESPN and you're a sports writer or a sports broadcaster and you say something, there will be strict policies. It'll be a violation of rules.
Hey, Sean, how about are you ready for some football?
I am ready for
some. No, Hank Williams Jr., remember, must have been 4 years ago. Do you remember what Hank Williams Jr. said on Fox News?
Oh, my gosh, not off the top of my head.
Okay, I can tell you what he said. This was on I don't know what day of the week. I would like to say it was on a Monday. In fact, I'm pretty sure it was on a Monday because the Bears were playing the Lions in Detroit on Monday Night Football. He made comments comparing President Obama to Adolf Hitler himself. He said it on the Fox News channel. And sure enough, ESPN yanks him and also takes away the Are You Ready for Some Football tune, which I love.
I think I do remember that. That was, 2011 when that came out?
I would like to say that was 2011, yes.
I do remember some of that, and I have to say that was not right to say that addressed to the President of the United States.
Hey, this is what Chaba has to say in the chat room. Carter basically advocated getting in trouble. What Schilling did is actually based on statistical fact. It was stupid, yes, but it's based on fact. Exactly 100% correct, Shaba. Carter's...
The thing is, that is free. I hate to say this because I have friends that are Jewish. I do. You, Jeff, you're one of my true friends. You're Jewish. I have a neighbor that used to live by me that was Jewish. I worked with somebody that was Jewish. I have a lot of Jewish friends. But it seems that Curt Schilling may have not insulted anybody here, and he didn't insult you, Jeff, but he was just putting up a statistical fact, which in the end, can we honestly say, gentlemen, that is freedom of speech?
I would say it is freedom of speech, but if you're going to say something like that, you got to be careful because it can offend a lot of other people.
Yeah, and you want to know something? ESPN didn't do anything to Carter, did they?
No, nothing to Chris Carter.
Right? And they yanked Schilling off of the Little League World Series for what Schilling did, right?
Right.
You know something? That's ridiculous.
Sure is.
Carter should be fired or suspended for the season from ESPN for what he said, or at least suspended as long as Schilling is.
I have to say this, too. Should Schilling get fired before Carter does, that's really a bad taste in judgment.
I don't think he should be fired over this.
That is done poorly. Well, Frank, what do you think? Do you think Schilling will eventually get fired? They already got him suspended. What's your thoughts?
Okay, listen. I think the fact that he was already suspended is a good thing for him in terms of his odds of being fired. I don't think he's going to be fired. He's going to be how long has he been suspended for? Do you know, gentlemen?
I have no knowledge of that whatsoever. When he's come back.
But he's coming back. That's the point. The odds of him returning to ESPN are great, considering that he was only suspended in this matter. It's not like what happened 4 years ago. Trust me, if ESPN found it really offensive, they would have fired him just like they did to Hank Williams Jr. 4 years ago and completely depart his services. I don't think he's going to be fired here. I just do not.
Since we've covered this story, I've got a story of my own that we maybe didn't get enough time to talk about. But, Frank, sure. The L.A. Clippers were fined $250,000 after an investigation found that the team had violated league rules while trying to re-sign DeAndre Jordan last month. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, they broke the rules, obviously. If the investigation came up that they broke the rules, then they're going to have to pay the penalty here. Understand this: the Los Angeles Clippers, haven't they been an organization of great interest and to some extent nasty turmoil? Because we're talking about Donald Sterling. We were talking about what Curt Schilling did. How about Donald Sterling?
This has been something that the Clippers have had to deal with as an organization. They had to deal with Donald Sterling, and it's been already a year and a half since that happened. Of course, the divorce that Donald Sterling had to his estranged wife, and now the Clippers have to deal with this. How about this? The league said Tuesday that the Clippers had made a presentation to the then free agent on July 2nd that improperly included a potential third-party endorsement opportunity. League rules prohibit teams from arranging for others to provide compensation for a player unless it is included in a contract or is otherwise permitted by the collective bargaining agreement. Jeff, what's your thoughts about that?
I kind of agree.
Hey, they paid. It was written out. It was in writing, wasn't it?
Yeah,
and it's part of the collective bargaining agreement.
I know they're stupid, but they're pretty stupid for letting it go that way. But what do you expect?
And think about this too. Last month, it took Mark Cuban and his family a long time to overcome this. Cuban would probably say, maybe it's a good thing. Maybe it serves them right because they stole DeAndre Jordan. The Clippers did and were a little sneaky into Houston.
Do you think this would be bigger if Mark Cuban was on the other end of this?
I'm not sure. I think
it would be because of the personality Cuban is. I think it would be bigger if this were the Mavericks being fined.
Right. And I think with Mark Cuban, I think the situation for him is that he's putting that behind him. He's focusing on Shark Tank, his show, and then, of course, he's getting ready for a long, busy NBA season.
This guy never sleeps, does he?
No, he doesn't. Never sleeps.
He's the billionaire.
Sleep.
He's the billionaire. And if you go to Google or you see Mark Cuban's house, the place is huge. That's why he's the billionaire. He's got a basketball, a swimming pool, and he's just a tennis racket. His house is big.
Well, of course. And you know what? Mark Cuban was one of those guys that he seemed that he made his billions overnight. That one night he didn't have the money that he did, And sure enough, the next day he wakes up, and all of a sudden his stock on broadcast.net, I believe it is, goes up, and the guy has billions upon billions of dollars.
I'd have to say this too. It's been 15 years since Mark Cuban bought the Dallas Mavericks. I have to say, you got to give the man props, though. He may have been the most fined NBA owner, but you have to remember, Mark Cuban is the one that turned the Dallas Mavericks around after they were the big laughingstock of the 1990s.
Yeah. Well, of course, and here's the thing. Mark Cuban has been one of the – can we say that Mark Cuban has been one of the best owners in the NBA? I'd have to certainly classify him as being that because of the fact that he turned the Mavericks around. It was a team that – it was a joke around 20 years ago when you played the Dallas Mavericks. It was an utter joke because you were expected to beat the Dallas Mavericks. It's kind of like what we're seeing with the Philadelphia 76ers now. But for him to buy the Mavericks, turn them into contenders, they won the NBA championship in 2011, I have to say pretty darn successful. And I'm taking a look at this house here, Sean, because you tempted me here. This looks like a town. This doesn't look like an estate. This looks like an entire town.
And before we go to commercial break, the point I got to make about the Dallas Mavericks and Shabba, yes, they were a bad laughingstock team before Cuban came. And when Mark Cuban came, he turned them around. And yeah, you got to give him props for the job he has done because he wanted to build a winner. He wanted to say Mavericks basketball back. Because remember, who was the team that was always dominating when the Dallas Stars and the Dallas Mavericks were bad? The Dallas Cowboys. Very simple. When they had Aikman and Smith and Michael Irvin and Leon Lett, and then, of course, when Jimmy Johnson and Barry Switzer were there. And on that note, we got to go to the last commercial break of the day.
That's right. You're listening to Jeff Escow, Showman, and Frank Spankel on
Sports World Radio.
We'll be right back.
I had PTSD. Once I was back from Iraq, I was distant from everybody in my family. We had a reunion of our unit, and you'd hear these spouses say, "Is your husband doing that? My husband's doing that too. I thought it was just us." And really understanding that, hey, this is a common experience.
I learned more to listen to what he was saying, and that made it easier for me to understand where his pain was coming from.
Warriors should know that resources are available. Learn more at realwarriors.net.
Every parent wants the safest and healthiest products for their family. That's why I created The Honest Company. I was just a concerned mom with a crazy dream. A wish that there was a company that I could rely on that did all of the hard work for me. I'm Jessica Alba, and The Honest Company was my dream.
LegalZoom has helped 1 million businesses successfully get started, including Jessica's. Launch your dream at LegalZoom today. Call us. We're here to help.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't too.
Don't wait until it's too late. Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wide world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escow, Sean Mann, bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk each and every Monday through Friday right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. All right, final segment of the show. Where are we going next, guys?
All right, I got a story here that we have to get to at 47 minutes after the hour. Now, as you know, Jeff, in the 7 years that you and I have done shows, and Frank, you've been here since March of 2000 2014. We all know that it was 10 years ago since Hurricane Katrina went into New Orleans and ripped the entire Gulf Coast. I got to ask you, Frank, where were you on that day? Do you remember that? I remember that day very well, but where were you?
Well, I remember here's the thing, Sean. I remember obviously paying attention to it at home prominently. I had some downtime during the actual storm. I'm talking about in the days of the storm hitting because I was kind of in between jobs at that point. But at the time, didn't we know? Here's what I wanted to know. Remember Ray Nagin said this was the worst, he was the mayor of New Orleans at the time. Didn't he say this was the worst storm we've ever envisioned? Something like that. I don't remember his words, but when he said that, you knew that pretty much the Gulf Coast was headed for trouble.
It pretty much was, and this is an interesting story that we talk about here, Jeff. I'm not going to try to get too much into trauma because we really don't do that. We make this a fun show, but you think about the fact that 10 years ago was a very, very sad thing to experience. We all watched it on our television sets, and it does mention that the one team that made the huge difference to bring a lot of joy and triumph and happiness back to the area would be the New Orleans Saints. Drew Brees says that even though it's been 10 years later, he still feels the pain of that event.
I think, guys, it was because of Hurricane Katrina is the reason why Drew Brees signed with the New Orleans Saints. Because, remember, after the 2005 season, he was a free agent after leaving the San Diego Chargers here. And it came down to two teams, whether he was going to go to New Orleans or go to Miami. And understand that Miami, with more of its winning history than New Orleans, obviously, better known for quarterbacks, obviously, with Dan Marino, Bob Greasy before that. I'll be honest, at the time, Miami may have been a more attracting fit for somebody like Drew Brees. But Sean Payton took him on a tour of all of the devastation, and he saw this, and sure enough, Drew Brees decided at that point, you know what, I got to come here. I got to help turn this organization around and make this community feel better about itself. So if you take a look at what happened with Hurricane Katrina, with the Gulf Coast, New Orleans, obviously Mississippi, that just the impact of it. It led to Drew Brees coming, I believe.
Sure, and you think about this too, Jeff and Frank, that sure, the Saints dealt with the bounty scandal, but you know what? Heck with the bounty scandal. That Saints team in 2009, they were on a mission to win a Super Bowl so bad, and they did that. And I'll never forget watching the parade of the New Orleans Saints saying just how great – I was thinking to myself, think how great it is that this whole city finally gets to see that happiness, and the Saints really did that. And Tom Benson – was so happy he did that. Shabba, this is interesting. You're the big Saints fan. He goes, I can say, being a native, that New Orleans has rebuilt stronger than before. To be super technical, Frank, he signed with the Saints because Nick Saban, in his overrated wisdom, passed on his shoulder. And then, yes, the actual day that it happened was August 29th, 2005. My memory is like...
You're talking about landfall, right?
Yes, my memory like that of that day was this. I was a senior in high school, and that was the only thing we were talking about. And then in our school, the cool thing that we did is we donated a lot of money to help the people and the victims out from Hurricane Katrina. And you know what was great is that both the Manning brothers, Peyton Manning and Eli Manning, they went down there to the Gulf Coast to help out. Everybody did because everybody felt really crushed about how that whole area was just destroyed because of the hurricane.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was. And then so that's just an amazing article about how Drew Brees says he still feels impacted about that, and he was glad that what the team did was to win a championship. And
hey, Sean,
what?
How about that Monday Night Football game in 2006, the first game for the Saints back into the Superdome? Remember against the Atlanta Falcons?
I'd say tears of joy is what it was. Here's the thing about it. Like I said, in the 7 years I've done shows with Jeff, we don't cover tragedy, but you know what? It's always nice to see what a team can do to heal a city that has been hit by tragedy. If it's been an attack or if it's been a shooting or something like that, that's what's really cool about what a team can do. Pick up the spirit, pick up the town, pick up the community. That's why I like it. And I think, Frank, you would agree with me that, like what we saw after 9/11 of 2001, and I know with the 14th anniversary, we'll talk a little bit about that on September 10th. That's, of course, the night NFL season begins, but, of course, before it'll be the 14th anniversary of when September 11th happened. But we'll get to that in a few weeks to talk just a little bit about it.
Hey, by the way, I got to tell you, the hump wants me to talk. I don't really got a few minutes here, but at the end, I got to talk about a topic Hump wanted me to talk about that I wanted to discuss here.
Go ahead. Yeah, it's your hour, bud. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know what? Let me ask you this. We got to get Jeff into playing video games here. Come on, Jeff. You'd love it, buddy. Dude, Madden came out today. You would love it.
What do you think there, Jeff? Yeah, come out and play video games.
It's so real. Oh, come on. It's more of a simulation and less of a video game. When I think of video games, I think of Nintendo, Super Nintendo, until the era of PlayStation, Nintendo 64 coming out. Dude, it's more of a... You would love it.
Frank, how old are you?
34.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm 34 and I still play video games. Got a problem with that?
Yeah, I do.
I'm 34 and still like to watch classic 1990s Simpsons episodes.
Well, see, that's the problem right there in a nutshell.
Dude, what? You're trying to say I'm a problem?
That's the problem right there in a nutshell.
As we continue 53 minutes after the hour, the question I got to ask you, Frank, are the New York Yankees in trouble? Mark Teixeira, bruised shin, back in the lineup for the Yankees, but CC Sabathia likely out for the rest of the season because of the injury.
Okay, I think this comes to show you that maybe the Yankees aren't in trouble in terms of the near future, but what about the long-term future? This is a team that is getting older. They lost their captain last year to retirement. He had been slowed down because of injury in the 2013 playoffs.
Yes, and after 2013, they lost Mariano Rivera. This team is starting to decline, and I can tell you, they're losing.
Give them a wheelchair.
Yeah, they're losing 5-0 right now as we speak to Houston. I think the Yankees are in trouble. I really do, and I could sense that they could collapse. Okay, so they're right there in the AL East, but, they have not looked impressive this month of August, and I've always said August and September are the two most critical months of a baseball season because that's the heat of the pennant race.
Well, let me ask you, when for you does the pennant race really kick in?
I always say on the first day of August, that's when I say it is, because you've got to be red hot in the month of August, and then you got to keep on doing it in September.
I think after Labor Day, no question about it, that's when the juices get flowing for me.
If the Yankees, though, Frank, let's say they really do collapse and they end up not making the postseason, which still could be possible,
yes.
If they do not make the playoffs, do you see maybe Joe Girardi fired after this year?
I don't think Joe Girardi is going to be fired. Well, maybe, hold on. If he is fired, maybe it's to go in a new direction with a whole new ball club. But then again, Girardi has experience as a manager. Do you keep Girardi?
And yeah, that or even Brian Cashman. Remember, there have been years that Brian Cashman has been under fire as the general manager of the Yankees, that if he wasn't getting the team moving, if he wasn't making the big moves, I think, though, too, Jeff, he would be under fire. But we'll see. The Yankees, though, I think they're in a lot of trouble because they lose 3 out of 4 to the Indians. They're getting pounded right now against Houston.
And here's another thing, too, about Alex Rodriguez. I have been impressed with the production, even though, look, the guy's not going to the Hall of Fame, and I'm going to assume the guy is off the illegal juice here. But Alex Rodriguez, this guy is isn't he the oldest Yankee now? He's got to be because he's 40 years old.
He does, yes, he is, and he's got 3 years left, which means 2016 and 2017, and then after that he'll retire as a Yankee. Like you pointed out, Frank, yeah, this team is getting very, very old, very fast, and that's why I don't see them going to the Fall Classic. The Yankees just don't have the pieces to do it. Their pitching is a big concern, and the problem with the Yankees that's hurt them the most, they rely too much on the home run ball. Last night, they were very lucky to beat Houston. They won it on a sac fly.
Bronx Bombers.
Yeah, but I just don't see them being a serious threat if they get to the playoffs in October. But I still say Texas is right there, the Angels, the Twins. Yankees need to be careful. Otherwise, somebody could sneak it right away from them.
Hey, what about hey, not to change the subject, but let's go from the American League to the National League. Yes,
sure.
Chicago Cubs are my favorite team, not to be biased. I want to say this. The Cubs are looking great right now. And I did have a chance. I did have some spare time. I came home, watched the game yesterday. Amazing how the Cubs were able to find ways to win Chris Bryant game-winning homer in the 9th inning after blowing a 1-0 lead. But the point is here, this series, Cubs-Giants 3-game series, it has more meaning for the San Francisco Giants. The Cubs don't have any wild card seats wrapped up. The San Francisco Giants sure as hell need this series a lot more than the Chicago Cubs do.
I have to take a look at, I'm glad we talk a few minutes for the National League here, Jeff and Frank, because the Giants know that it's big for them to, they know that they're probably not going to catch either the Pirates or the Cubs in that National League wild card.
Maybe the Cubs.
For the Giants, I think for the Giants, though, Frank, their objective is to overtake the Dodgers. The Dodgers do not look very impressive right now. And if you look at the Pirates, okay, they're leading the Cubs in that National League wild card. Pirates could even say, hey, we're only 3.5 back of the best team in baseball. Mm-hmm. Cardinals, you better watch out, or the Pirates could snoop it away from you.
That's all I freaking need.
Look, I'm impressed with what the Cubs have done. I really am. But I'm going to say the Giants could, listen, their playoff hopes could be gone within the next 3 games.
Right. Exactly. Hey, you know something? On that note, we're getting the flock out of here. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us today. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. I know we did, too. We'll be back again tomorrow for another edition of Sports World Radio. Until then, my friends, remember, you only have one life to live. Live it long, live it strong, and live it proud. And please don't forget, life may suck, but the alternative is unacceptable.
Amen.
Peace out, everybody. For Sean Mann, Josh Lopez, Frank Sprankle, John Marks, I'm Jeff Escow. This has been Sports World Radio.
Goodbye and have a great evening, everybody.
Shut up, Skip.
Hey, boys, Stimpy. We sure had fun today, kid. So long, kids. Come on, Stimpy, say goodbye.
Where are we going?
The show's over. See you next time.
Next time? When's that?
Pretty soon. Don't worry.
Pretty soon? How long is that?
In a little while, man.
Goodbye, folks. Goodbye, folks.